Any day you're drinking Springbank and Longrow is a good day. Time for some more first impressions. Hey guys, welcome back to Whiskey on the West Coast. My name is Matt, and today we're doing some more first impressions. And it's a good day because we are doing first impressions of Springbank and Longrow, specifically Springbank 15-year-old and Longrow 21-year-old. Now, I took part in a virtual tasting through Kensington Wine Market in Calgary, Alberta. Again, probably my favorite whiskey store on this planet. And we covered in this virtual tasting a couple of Springbank products, which were the Springbank 15-year-old from 2022. It's at 100% sherry cask maturation Springbank 15-year-old, as well as the Longrow 21-year-old from 2022. And that one is the 30% ex-bourbon, 60% sherry, and 10% Chardonnay cask version of Longrow 21. And I've never had a Longrow 21 before, so that's going to be an interesting experience. Now, I do have a bottle of Springbank 15-year-old from 2020, an older batch, to compare to the 2022 batch. And the reason why I have this one specifically for this comparison is this is one that actually is a vatting of both ex-bourbon and ex-sherry casks. So it'll be interesting to just a little bit contrast between the two and see what it is that the 2022 does well. With that, I think it's time to get into some first impressions. All right, let's start off with the Springbank 15 from 2022. Now this is 46% non-chill filtered natural color Campbeltown whiskey. I don't know if Springbank needs an introduction like that anymore. It is all the rage, and I love this distillery. 100% sherry, you are not kidding. That is jammy and that is funky. That is Fig Newton, that is dates, that is motor oil, bit of cheese, some grape. Definitely industrial notes, industrial funk. Bit of toffee, creme brulee, and oh man, almost like a Coca-Cola vibe in there as well. Yeah, I love this nose. Springbank. It is so good. Oh man. I don't want to add to the hype or the FOMO, as it was a FOMO virtual whiskey tasting. The peat is in check. It's there. It's here for the party, but it's not, again, taking over the show. So there's some smoke. Coca-Cola, again, profiles on the palate. There are a lot of those sherry notes there. Some prune, some raisin. Very jammy Springbank 15, super jammy Springbank 15, almost a little bit syrupy sweet. So a lot of sweet notes, but the funk is there, the industrialness is there. Dirty, it's a dirty sort of Oloroso sherry, and not in like a sulfured way. This is one of the better sherry cask Springbank 15s for sure, because I'm not picking up that sulfur on it. It's oily. It's got some great body. Another sip. Jammy, funky, dirty awesomeness. My word. On the finish, like again, that peat, almost like a wood varnish sort of vibe too. Leather, tobacco, and like the Coca-Cola candies, like the bottle candies, the gummies. Yep, that's the finish right there. That's exactly what that is. Man, that's good. That is really good. It's too bad it's so hard to get a bottle of this. Luckily, I have a bottle from a previous batch. So I'm going to take a quick nosing and a sample of that just to compare the qualities of one that's entirely 100% ex-sherry versus one that has ex-bourbon and ex-sherry. And instantly, the funkiness and industrial notes are there, but there's more like melon. There's more tropical fruit. Definitely more of those ex-bourbon notes. Definitely the DNA in this 2020 bottling. You can pull a thread from the Springbank 10 to the 15 with this nose. Similarly on the palate, you have a lot more of that Springbank 10 DNA. Again, those tropical fruits, melon, some cantaloupe, but with some of those darker fruits and tones too, some coffee. That funk is there still. It's still dirty. It's still got that peat. I haven't had a 15 I don't like, honestly. I love this 2022 though. There's a lot of complexity there. It's a fantastic whiskey. Well done, Springbank, as always. I'm gonna stop gushing about this 15 and I'm gonna move over to the Longrow 21. All right, on to Longrow 21-year-old. Now this is gonna be, again, shouldn't have to be said, but non-chill filtered natural color. This is the heavily peated expression from Springbank. It's peated to 50 phenol parts per million, to my knowledge, and it's only double distilled. It's twice distilled as opposed to Springbank's 2.5 and Hazelburn's triple distillation. Now this Longrow 21-year-old for 2022 has a really interesting cask makeup. It is actually 30% ex-bourbon, 60% sherry cask, and 10% Chardonnay cask, which is really interesting because there was a super popular single cask 17-year-old that Kensington Wine Market put out a number of years ago. Might even be like the 4-year difference here. That was a Longrow Chardonnay cask, which was very popular. I never got to try it. One of my many regrets in the whiskey world. But let's take a look at this Longrow 21-year-old. That is both dirty and fresh. That is, there's some fruit jumping out, but it's all surrounded by this funky, smoky peat. Kind of like a smoked cheese note, for sure. Again, that melon. Touch of like mesquite barbecue almost too. Yeah, it's almost, it's a really interesting balancing act here between fruity and savory, with again some baking spices in there too. There's some spicing for sure. Let's check out the palate. Tropical fruit for days. Wow. Melon, mango, like guava. Oh, others in there too. Ooh. I don't like that this is only a sample. And again, that peat is there, that industrial funk. For how heavily peated Longrow is, maybe it's the 21 years kind of having a dampening effect on that smoke and how brash and brazen it is. It doesn't come off that smoky, that peated. So again, could be the casks working their magic. There's a lot of wine casks in here. They tend to kind of round out that peat a bit more than others. Oh man, another sip here. There's this like buttery, creamy sort of thing too near the back end of the palate going towards the finish. Again, the peat is there. It's noticeable, obviously. It's still a heavily peated whiskey. But I mean, from drinking like Longrow Reds and from drinking even like just standard no age statement Longrow, surprisingly easy drinking. Sweet peat, quite a long finish. Yeah, I'm all over this. This is great. However, some of the things we have to consider obviously are, well, can you even buy these whiskeys? And they're allocated. You have to enter ballots in my market anyways for these. And you have to be damn lucky to actually get one. Then you have to pay the price that's being asked for them, which in this case, the prices I'm looking at for these, for Springbank 15, it's $140 Canadian. And for the Longrow 21-year-old, it's $525 Canadian. Then taxes on top of that. If I was a little more flush with cash, I might give a second thought to going after this Longrow 21. I can't justify it. I really can't. My heart wants it, but the pocketbook is saying no. Whereas I feel like at $140 Canadian, the Springbank 15 is an absolute steal. That is a phenomenal whiskey. If you have a chance and you get to pick between, say, these two whiskeys, the Springbank 15, 100% sherry from 2022. I know there's a few different batches, but this one in particular was stellar. And I've been hearing others say the same sort of thing, that these sherry batches, they've got them right. They're not overly sulfured. They have the right balance, and they also have a really good price point to match. It's tough to beat that. I'm still a huge fan of the Springbank 10, but this particular batch of the 15 it's top notch. It's top notch, guys. All right. Let me know in the comments if you wouldn't mind. Have you had the Longrow 21? I'm deeply curious about what others think of that, or one of these 2022 batches of Springbank 15. And really, have you had any Springbank, or are you just frustrated like the rest of us trying to get your hands on them? Thank you once again, guys, for tuning in. I appreciate it so much, all the feedback I get, and just knowing you guys are out there and interested in hearing what I'm saying on whiskey. Thanks for coming back. If you can like, share, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. It really helps. And come back for more in the future. Until next time, sláinte.